Hello and welcome back to Study Abroad and School Experience. This is going to be my last advice video for students. Um, if you do not know, I am a doctoral researcher. I'm currently in a PhD program in the UK, criminology, social science, studying homicide. That's it. So each picture on the screen represents a point in my schooling as a graduate or postgraduate student, as they are referred to in the UK. So the first picture is when I was a student, when I was pursuing a Master of Arts in Sociology. This is a bathroom picture. I had just gotten the ends of my hair curled because I had the Senegalese twist and I didn't like the straight look. I liked the curl better, so I took a picture, and that is the result of my smile. The second picture is when I was pursuing um, a Master of Science in Criminology in the UK. So this is a picture. I'm in the International Hall in the room that I resided in. I was on my way to class. I'm giving big hair realness in all black. And I took a picture in the mirror that's connected to like the closet dresser area before class because my hair was big, how I like it, and I wanted to capture that um, in the mirror. And then the third picture is like the transition period. No, I do not wear glasses. I purchased these glasses to protect my eyes from, the row um, and for aesthetic purposes because they look nice. So no, I do not wear glasses. I can see without glasses. That's why I got the glasses. But I'm sitting in my kitchen in New York. And yeah, I took several pictures, but this is the one I chose. And this is like me going into that next stage, that next chapter, which is basically the program I'm in now, which is a PhD program. As I stated before, I'm a doctoral researcher, PhD student, research student studying homicide. So this picture, the bottom one, is also on something else. I'm not gonna say what it's on, but it's like related to something professional. But anyway, I feel like I look very astute. But yeah, so I have two graduate degrees. So I graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Sociology and Anthropology. Then right after college, I went to graduate school and I earned a Master of Arts in Sociology. And then I took a break from schooling and I worked some, and then I went back to school and I pursued a Master of Arts in Criminology. Not a Master of Arts in Criminology, a Master of Science in Criminology. And I received my Master of Science in Criminology. So now I'm working on getting my big kahuna, my grand finale, the last degree. So yeah, that is what each picture symbolizes and what was going on during that time. Now, my advice for graduate and postgraduate students, and I'm going to use graduate and postgraduate interchangeably because my graduate education um, is across two continents, the Americas and Europe, and in the Americas, or in the U.S. in particular, graduate school. But postgraduate student is more common in the UK, I guess. Anyway, the first point states you're not an imposter, it's your purpose. So, lots of students pursuing PhDs, they have what's known as imposter syndrome, feeling like um, they're not supposed to be there. They don't have the skills, they're inexperienced, etc., etc. but that's not true. There's a reason that you're where you are, basically. So you're supposed to be where you are. It's your purpose. There was a reason that you decided to pursue this, and it goes beyond just having, the title of doctor. Your research is important to you for one reason or another, and you feel like the world needs to know what you're studying hasn't been done before, or has been done before, and you're offering a new perspective. So yeah, you're not an imposter. It's your purpose. You belong there, and never let anyone make you feel as though you don't belong there, because you worked hard and you deserve to be where you are. The next one states, take breaks, possess a healthy work-life balance. So when you're a PhD student, like, your research and all that you do, if you teach, if you have studentships, assistantships, if you're a research student under somebody else, depending, you may be, you know, you may be working on their work in your work. It's a lot. It's a lengthy process. But you have to take breaks, because your mental health is important. And if you're not there mentally, you won't be able to produce. Um, it just won't happen. It won't work. So take breaks. Life is stressful, and pursuing a PhD can add additional stress to it. But just take breaks when necessary. It's okay to take breaks. It's okay. It's okay. You'll be fine. What you're working toward will get done. Take the break. Even if you take a break for 15 minutes, take a break. Take a nap. You'll feel refreshed. Um, just take the break. Don't stress yourself out. Don't work yourself to death, because you won't enjoy the process. Um, The next point states, communicate with your DOS and supervisors. So at my school, I have a director of studies, and then there's a second supervisor for my project. In the US, to my knowledge, they just call them supervisors anyway. So my DOS, that's basically my first supervisor, is what it would be referred to in the States. But you need to communicate with them and let them know what's going on with you, because there's different deadlines when it comes to writing and producing certain materials, and then your school may have certain things, or certain progress marks that you certain progress points or marks that you have to maintain and hit in order to continue on with your education, or continue to be a researcher at that institution. So if something is going on, communicate with them. If you have to take a break, communicate with them. Um, yeah, so remediation won't be an issue. Like, just make sure you communicate. Make sure that everybody is on the same accord. And if you're having problems with your particular supervisor, or just one, communicate that to the person who is in charge of your program. So your PhD coordinator, the school, and hopefully they'll be able to, like, provide sufficient assistance and not give you the runaround, because if you and your supervisor don't mesh well, um, it could be problematic throughout the duration of, your PhD. You won't get things done. It'll be a very lengthy process for you if they're always against you. Like, offering constructive criticism is one thing, but being downright nasty for no reason is another. So communication, um, understanding, all of that stuff is key. Um, do not be afraid to ask questions. Every expert was once a novice researcher. Experts learn every day. And I put that there because when you pursue a PhD, it's the highest level of education. Like, you're there, you're Dr. So and so, and this is what you are an expert in. Um, Sometimes people feel as though they have to know it all, but experts learn every day. You can read as much as you want, but there's still going to be information that's being produced while you're doing your research. Once you finish your research, there's always something new. Every time something new is being produced, people are offering different perspectives, and you can only read so much and learn so much. And it's a continuing learning process. So ask questions regarding something if you need clarity. I think at this level, some people are afraid to ask questions or ask for assistance or help because they feel as though they're supposed to be the expert in this and that. Yeah, but it's a learning process. It can be a learning curve. You're still learning. Every expert is learning continuously. The learning doesn't stop. You learn in your daily life when you leave your house. You learn about the world around you, and you learn while in school, or if you're in an employment setting. You're always learning. It's constant. So yeah, just remember that every expert was once a novice researcher. Experts learn every day. So, that kind of ties in with imposter syndrome. So just know you're supposed to be there. You're supposed to be a student at that institution, studying what you're studying. Um, write as much as you can whenever you can. And I say this because it can be difficult to write for one reason or another, or you may write better in the morning versus the nighttime for one reason or another. It's been easier for me to write at night, and writing at the kitchen table has been a bit annoying for me these days, and I've been able to write better, while sitting on the couch with my laptop in front of me. So I think it's because for the last several months, like over a year, I've been at that kitchen table writing, because before I started this program, I was in a different program. I came back to the States like when COVID was like, doing stuff during the first wave. So I completed my program online, my first program in London, my Master of Science. I finished that online during the first wave, and I was sitting in the same spot at the kitchen table. It's a bit monotonous, and I need a change of scenery basically. And I guess because I need a change of scenery, me sitting there and like other things, I wasn't able to write as adequately as I usually can write. So I said I'm gonna move, and then yeah, writing that night, and writing that night on the couch versus the kitchen table, and then also if I have something to do earlier in the day, it kind of interferes with me writing in the morning time. So it's best that if I'm going to write early, that I don't have anything else to do besides write and edit. And right now I'm in the process of like editing my APR1. So I just got some more feedback, and I have to do a few things, but yeah. Anyway, I started, that again, but just write whenever. Don't leave it to the last minute, because that's taxing on the brain. Is too much to write, 15,000 words or this or that in one setting. Like it can, like if you save it to the last minute, some people work well under pressure, but I don't recommend doing that. I would just write as much as you can every day. Like they were suggesting, write 500 words a day or every other day, or write 1,000 words. Like basically, how you navigate this is how it's gonna be, because it's your research project. It's your baby. So, you know, the next point is you can do it, in all caps. You can do it. So like that. Yeah, you can do it. I can do it. We all can do it. We will do it. That's pretty self-explanatory. The next point says apply for all funding. A lot of people are able to get studentships and assistantships and fellowships and so forth and so on. And then some folks have to rely very heavily on student loans and work outside in order to, fund their education. But I would say apply for all financial aid opportunities. I always stress, if you do not have to pay for schooling, do not pay. If you can get the money from whoever to cover your tuition, get it from them. Let them pay, because finances in graduate school, postgraduate school, it's a headache. So apply for all funding. Speak to your school about funding opportunities. Speak to your director of studies, your supervisor about funders, and hopefully, you apply to all of these schools, and the schools, they give you proper funding for all of your time there, so you won't have to worry about tuition or getting additional student debt when it's not necessary. So yeah. And then the final point states that you will become doctor dot 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 PhD, EDD, MD, PhD. You'll become doctor whoever, whenever, however. Just keep at it. um this is what you're working towards. So you got this. You're gonna do it. um it can be stressful, and it may feel as though everything is closing in on you, but you're good. It's some other things that I should have put on here that I didn't, so I'll just state them. Don't get lost in a name. And this goes for master students and those pursuing PhDs. Um, because at times you want to go to a certain school because of the name, and you go to that school, or you get to that school, and it's not what you thought it would be. So quality education, a quality experience, quality learning outweighs a name on a degree. Not your name, but the name of an institution. If the name of a school has a certain amount of prestige, in air quotes on there, that doesn't mean that it's right for you. That doesn't mean that you'll get the experience that you're looking for. You can get a better experience elsewhere. So don't just decide to go with a school because of the name. Do proper research. Proper research, please. And get all funding possible, again, because I guess I'm speaking more so to um, master students now in terms of funding, because in the beginning I was speaking to PhD students, or applicants rather. So if you're applying to a master's program, you can, sometimes funding for master's degrees is a bit limited, because most schools in the States in particular, they throw a lot of money at PhD students. Sometimes it depends on the school, the program, etc. And it can be hard to find funding as a master's student, but it's out there. So don't give up. Keep looking. Um, If you have to apply for a federal or state loan or private loan or however it works in your city, state, country, um, only take what you need. You don't want the burden of having to take out additional loans and then having to pay that back for the next gazillion years is too much. Um, and you shouldn't have to live the rest of your life worrying about paying for loans because you wanted to pursue uh, a higher education degree because you feel as though this one particular topic was so important and you wanted to share your perspective through the research and the data that you generated with others. Okay? Um, there was something else that was in my mind after, picking, don't select a school because of the name. I'm trying to see. It was another point. Now I can't even recall what I was going to say after that. I'm trying to think. Maybe it'll come to me soon. Okay, no. But yeah, go to a school that's the best for you. Apply to as many schools as you want. Like in the States it's different because a lot of graduate schools, they have application fees that they are not going to reimburse you for if you do not get accepted into the program. What it is baloney, it's malarkey, it's blasphemy, it's all that and above. Yeah, I don't agree with that. But in the UK, there, in my experience, I haven't come across an application fee attached to, you know, you applying to a particular school. So that's one of the pluses. But I'm not really going to get into that. But it's essential. So because I'm at some point I'm gonna do a different video about applying to XYZ, but this information is basically for people who are already in those positions, and I mean it can be applied to those who are attempting to get to each stage. But yeah, I'm done talking for the day. I need to wash my hair, etc. So, as I always say, take care, be well, stay safe, keep studying. I hope you all find all of these videos useful. Take what resonates with you, whatever you feel is beneficial. Have a good night. Ciao.